Welcome to The Profitable Cleaner, a podcast on commercial cleaning sales and entrepreneurship.
Yo, what's up? Happy Q2 check-in, my profitable leaders. That's right. Welcome back to the Profitable Cleaner podcast. Today, we're going to have a little bit different style of an episode. As you can see, I'm on the road, I'm on the move, but no excuses. We have a commitment to you guys and to the show and to this podcast, and we're actually going to be doing something a little bit unique and delivering something to you guys over the next few weeks that I wanted to let you know about. And I think it's perfect timing with Q2 officially being here. We're over 90 days into 2025, and I want to do a check-in with not just you guys but myself and kind of see where we're measuring up for the year. If you guys haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, share this podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend, bring another leader to this group. It's how we grow. It's how we get more value to the community that you guys have essentially made. So Q2, 90 days in, 2025. As you guys know, when we end the year, there's a lot of talk about, okay, what's the next chapter? What's the next year look like? And we have big ambitions. We have an annual plan maybe for our business. We have a lot of, new initiatives for the year. What are we going to go do? What's the revenue going to look like? What's our team going to look like? What do we have for personal goals? And we have big ambition. And big ambition is good. New motivation is good. But ultimately, that's just a short moment in time that gets us kick-started. So we have to talk about what actually sustains us. What habits and what systems and what processes have we put in place to actually go achieve those goals? Not just attack them. Everyone talks about attacking your goals. You can attack something for a few seconds, a few minutes, in short sprints. But what are you actually doing to win over the long term? So I'm encouraging everyone right now in this very moment to ask yourself, 90 days ago, what were you telling you that you were going to accomplish in 2025? And ask yourself, are you actually doing what's required? Not are you actually doing it, are you actually doing what's required to make that movement happen? I think, and I'm the biggest person that's guilty of this, so often we have these big ambitions and these big plans for the year. Then you get into the year, you get into reaction mode, you start taming fires, things change, we have to evolve, we have to react. And then we ask ourselves, are we actually doing what we set out for? And often the answer is no. That's why so many people buy a gym membership in December, and by February, they're not going to the gym. It's because we're not actually focused on what's important. We're focused on what's immediate. And so that's the first thing. And if you guys look back, 3 months ago, I one of my key pillars for 2025 is focus on what's important, not what's immediate. And it's a really hard thing. So you have to ask yourself, all right, if I want to focus on what's important, the second step is what's required. What's required for you to do what you have to right now to actually start chipping away, chopping wood at that big goal that you had for this year. I'll be honest with you guys. I have a goal of signing on 100 new accounts for my business. Right now, I'm at 1% of that goal. Literally, we're at 10 accounts for the year. I'm at 1% of that goal. I think my math's right there. All I know is we have 10 accounts. I have 90 more to go. That means I basically have to do 10 accounts a month from here through the end of the year to get to where I want to go. And big goals take massive action, but to create massive action, you have to ask yourself what's actually required. What am I actually doing on a daily basis that's required of me to get to that goal? So the question to you is not only what is the goal, what's required of you right now, today, this week, to actually hit that goal. The second thing, I want to do a Q2 check-in And to do a check-in for the second quarter, what's here now, what's to come, is how was Q1? What were your habits? What was your energy? What was your mindset? What were your actions like the last 90 days? Because ultimately those actions got you to where you're at now. So if we're judging my 100 count a goal, my actions weren't good enough, if I'm just being real, right? There's a lot more habitual things that I need to do in terms of our sales to increase those sales, right? So this is kind of what's been going through my mind here lately is, okay, where have we fallen short, but also where have we won? Although we might not be, on track currently, I know that massive action, things can change and things can change quick, especially in business, especially within this industry. And there's been some wins there too. We've done some things within our own business to increase profitability in areas. We've reorganized our team. I believe we have a more intentional focus. So those are all things that I know personally we can build off of. So my question to you is not just like how far are you from your yearly goal that you set out for, but also how much progress have you already made within the last 90 days? So, change is inevitable. So we're either changing and evolving for the better, or we're changing and evolving for the worse. Now, the flip side of that, and this is the hard part, is where do you need to be accountable? Like I can tell you right now, every great leader that I've ever interviewed on The Profitable Cleaner has a massive sense of accountability and ownership. And so much so, it can almost be like overwhelming at times of like the ownership that one has to take to be critically honest with themselves, to see what they have to do, what's required on where they're going. So there's three things there. Okay, what are your wins over the last 90 days? Even if you're not currently on track, like myself, to hit your annual goal. And then outside of like where are your wins, it's also what can you do better? Where can you be accountable? And when you take that formula, you're like, okay, this is where we saw some good things. This is where we saw some momentum, but this is also where we need to improve. Now we know what's required for us to do. Where's that gap? Where's that shortfall that we need to be focused on without losing the big picture in mind? And this is what's so hard, especially in business. We get caught up in the everyday, we get caught up in the chaos, we get caught up in the calls, we go into reaction mode, not proactive mode, we go into reaction mode, and we lose sight of the big picture, what we actually set out for. So ask yourself what's required, where were the wins, and what can you do better? Let me give you guys some insight over what we're going to do for the next 3 weeks, kind of for this Q2 check-in. We're going to start breaking down some tactics, some things based on your guys' comments, feedback, messages that we've received over the last 90 days when we kind of look at the review just from our show on what we could bring you. So number one, we're going to dive deep into just sales and sales strategy and sales tactics. The janitorial industry, facility maintenance industry, I believe personally is extremely changing from a sales prospecting perspective. And that's because our ideal prospects, they're changing. And what I mean by that, a lot of new facility directors are in seats that they weren't 5 years ago. A lot of decision makers, key decision makers have retired or moved on. So we have some new faces in terms of our prospecting. And now it's how do we approach those prospects? Now that we're almost selling to a different demographic of people. The game's completely changed. I've been in janitorial sales for the last 5 years, and let me tell you guys, I've seen a big shift from like pre-COVID and immediate post-COVID sales to now 4 or 5 years removed. Prospects are responding differently with how we approach them, with the conversations we're having, with the value propositions from how we're approaching them from a cleaning standpoint, all of that. So we're going to dive deep into really just sales tactics, right? The second thing is we're going to talk about tools that you need within your business that we know winning companies are implementing, from not just tools and softwares, but the systems and processes that they're putting around that, which is going to increase your profitability, help your sales, and of course, streamline your operations. And then last but not least, we're going to dive deep on just some operational things that we know are important and have always been important within the janitorial industry when it comes to quality control, standard operating procedures, and how you're managing and recruiting new team members and retaining those people. So over the next 3 weeks on this show, it's really a deep dive more into strategy and more into tactics that you can implement right now to help you achieve that huge goal that you set out for 90 days ago. Now, I know there's some winners that are listening to this that are going to say, James, I'm a profitable leader. I'm right on track. And if that's the case, tell us what you're doing. I want to know the habits of what you're doing. I don't really care about the goal. That's cool to know, but I care about the habits and the mindset and the systems that you have in place to achieve that. Or maybe you're on the flip side, more like me currently, like, hey, I haven't lost sight of the goal, but I know that I can be better. I've seen a little bit of progress. What can we do to actually make this happen? We got to take massive action, but we got to break that down into small steps and ask ourselves what's required. So that's a little bit, not even a sneak peek. I guess this is more of an announcement of what's going to happen over the next 3 weeks. It's really kind of a masterclass and a deep dive into your sales, into tools and systems you should be implementing within your business. And then last but not least, just kind of an overview, a quality check-in of how you're running things and how you're recruiting the right people and putting them in the right places, which ultimately is going to get you in the right direction and keep you on track for your 2025 goal. So this is the Q2 check-in. Listen, we're the Profitable Cleaner. If you don't know, now you know. Definitely like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend about this show, man. The organic community that's been built over the last 90 days, thanks to people like you, have been truly amazing. And also, if you have a guest that you recommend that should be on this show, tag them in the link below. Tag them in the comments below. Tell us directly. Andrea at profitablecleaner.com. You can email her directly. We're easy to find, man. We're easy to find. So thank you guys. Love you guys. With that being said, Q2 check-in. Look forward to the next 3 weeks. Let's go.